Hello YouTubers and fellow Whovians, and welcome to another Doctor Who DVD review. As you can see before you today, we have the third Jon Pertwee story, which was the third story in Season 7, and it is, of course, The Ambassadors of Death. Now, on the cover, we have Jon Pertwee here, and we have the three ambassadors, the three aliens, what you see in this story. You can see that you have the names of them as well, and they all have the English flag, seeing as they're all English. I won't spoil it for you, but quite a lot happens in this story. We have what appears to be Mars, I think, or it's actually, I think that's Mars, and that's like the sort of alien thing. Again, I won't spoil it for you, but yeah, it's a nice, simple cover. Not the best cover, but it does its job. Not the worst cover. I like the pose of the ambassadors. The spine, well, is very simple. On the back, you can see that this story was written by three people. It was written by David Whittaker, Malcolm Hulke, and Trevor Ray. And I believe that David Whittaker said that this was his least favourite story because he didn't really have a big hand in the writing of this story. He only wrote like a little bit of this story, which is a bit of a shame because he wrote some quite good stories during the 60s. This is the last one he wrote as well, I believe. Something has gone wrong, seriously wrong, with the Mars Probe 7. With no contact from the astronauts since the rocket started its return journey from Mars, Space Control is now extremely worried about the fate of the crew. A rescue mission recovers something, but whatever it is, it certainly isn't human. To find out what has happened to the astronauts, the Doctor must head into space without the TARDIS. Special features include commentary by Caroline John, which was recorded before her death. This DVD came out just after her sad passing. Nicholas Courtney also died before the DVD came out. Peter Halliday, who did the alien voices, Geoffrey Beevers, who played Private Johnson, and for those of you eagle-eyed viewers, of course, Geoffrey Beevers, most famous for playing the Master in The Keeper of Traken. He was also Caroline John's husband as well, so quite a good fact for you there if you didn't know that already. Director Michael Ferguson, script editor Terence Dix, stunt coordinator Derek Ware, and stunt performers Roy Scammell and Derek Martin, moderated by Toby Haddock. So that's all the rest of the commentary team. Mars Probe 7, making the Ambassadors of Death. Cast and crew look back at the making of the story with Michael Ferguson, Terence Dix, Derek Ware, Roy Scammell, and assistant floor manager Margaret Hayhoe. Tomorrow's Times looks at the Third Doctor, the ongoing series, looking at press coverage of Doctor Who when it reached Jon Pertwee era. Presented by Peter Purves, who played Stephen, a companion of the First Doctor. A trailer for the original BBC trailer for the story. Must be very rare, seeing as you hardly get them on special features. Radio Times listings, which you can use your DVD-ROM for. Production subtitles, production information subtitles, photo gallery, a coming soon trailer, and digitally remastered picture and sound quality. This story was originally broadcast on BBC One between the 21st of March and the 2nd of May 1970. It is 7 episodes long. Produced by Barry Letts, directed by Michael Ferguson, and the incidental music was by Dudley Simpson. The runtime was 170 minutes. It's a PG, contains mild violence and threat. And sleeve text by Murray Lang, and the cover is by Lee Binding. Inside, it's 2 discs, so the actual story has been given a U, and the special features have been given a PG. Oddly, I give both of them a PG because there are pretty violent moments. Yeah, I don't understand how some stories get away with the U. Stories like Horror of Fan Rock, and because Horror of Fan Rock is like loads of people die in that story. I really like that though. I just think it's epic. Just that I get that out there. So that's disc 1 and disc 2, which you may have seen already. Overall, I think it's not a bad story. Not the best story. Not the best John Pertwee story. Personally, I feel it's after having watched it all at once, I may have to watch it again. It's probably the weakest out of season 7, because season 7 are really good stories. This is a good story, but I feel this story is more overshadowed by Spearhead from Space, Doctor Who and the Silurians, and the Fantastic Inferno. No competition really, but it's not a bad story. I just feel that in some parts it got a little bit boring, and also it felt a bit too long at 7 episodes. But I know there were limits, so 3 of the 4 stories from season 7 were all 7-parters, because the only one that wasn't was Spearhead from Space, and that was 4 parts. But the others, this one, the Doctor Who and Silurians and Inferno, they're all 7-parters. So yeah, I just feel with this one, I don't know, I got a bit bored in some parts, but there are some good moments. I feel like it has a James Bond-esque feel to it, which is really good because I really do like the James Bond films. Maybe I might review the films one day if you want me to. Comment below again. But yeah, it's like a James Bond blend with sci-fi, and I think it works quite well, although it's not my favourite out of season 7, but it's still good stuff. Of course, if you like John Pertwee's Doctor, then definitely get this, because he does a really good job in this story. And I like Caroline John in this story as Liz. I think Liz is one of the most underrated companions of all time, and she often gets overlooked by a lot of fans, particularly like seeing as you have Joe Grant, who's like one of the most popular companions, who, you know, she replaced her and she was on the show for 3 years, and a lot of people remember her most rather than Liz, which is a shame, because I think Liz was a very good companion for the 3rd Doctor. It was a real shame that she never actually got a proper exit. It was just mentioned that she exited off screen. But of course we're seeing the 5 Doctors, which is a delight. It's so sad that Caroline John passed away before this made it to DVD. There was also some colorization techniques for this DVD. Not a criticism of the story itself, more of the actual DVD. But I feel that episodes 2 and 3 wasn't... You could tell that it was colorized, because, I don't know, it just seemed a bit out of place compared to all the other episodes on the disc. But I think mostly they did a good job, seeing as a lot of the episodes were in black and white. So yeah, good job. One of the last stories to be released on DVD took so long. So yeah, I would get this if you enjoy John Pertwee. It's just my opinion anyway. You probably might think differently, but it's my least favourite out of season 7. So thanks very much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this DVD review. Stay tuned next time.